everyone, and welcome to the Support After Abortion Healing Network weekly Facebook Live show. My name is Karen Barbito, and I'm the Director of Programming for Support After Abortion, and we're so glad to have you here today. We're going to start off, before we invite our guests to the show, to show you a clip from the play Viable. If you didn't see it the last time we aired it for 24 hours for free, you don't want to miss it. We're going to show it again on December 5th. That's a Saturday from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then Lisa Rowe, the CEO of Support After Abortion, is going to do a live interview with the cast. So sit back. We're going to show this trailer, and I want you to know that some of the scenes can be graphic. So if you've been impacted by abortion and if emotions come up for you while you're watching this play, I just want you to know that our staff is ready to serve you. You're not alone. We're here to help you. And you can either private message us on Facebook or just put it in our Facebook post. So without further ado, sit back and watch the trailer for the play Viable.
Did being pregnant hurt you?
Of course not. I just told you Becky was a healthy, happy baby.
And you? Were you a healthy, happy mom?
How old are you?
I would be 30.
50? That sounds a bit Downton Abbey, don't you think? Things you're asking about are things that nobody should know but me. I'm going crazy!
You're not crazy, Judy.
Then you're crazy. One of us is crazy. Were you scared 30 years ago tonight?
Oh.
You are the meanest person I have ever met.
Why do you say that?
Because you are, for whatever reason, pretending to be my first daughter. You didn't have to say a word to win our little argument.
But you did.
They promised me this would never happen. They promised me.
God wants you to know that you're free. Hush. Hey, I love you. I am here to tell you that Jesus loves you and that you are forgiven. Jesus wants you to experience his complete love and indescribable joy. God is loving, just, and merciful. Remain in him, and he will remain in you forever.
I know that was powerful, right? You don't want to miss it. Saturday, December 5th, starting at 8 a.m. until 7 p.m. So I can't believe it. I'm sure you can't believe it either, but this, I think, is our 31st episode. We've been doing this for so long now. If you had asked me that many weeks ago that I would still be doing this, I would have said you were crazy. I would have told you no right from the very beginning, but here we're still at it. And this week we have some really special guests with you. So I want to take a minute right now. I want you to share this video with your Facebook friends because you never know who might see it and really benefit from what they're going to hear here today. All right, so let me introduce you to our guest today. We have none other than the CEO of Support After Abortion, Lisa Rowe, joining us. And we also have the program coordinator for Support After Abortion, Carolyn Frandsen, with us today. You might be asking yourself, why do we have three people, excuse me, from Support After Abortion on our own Facebook Live show, right? You might be asking that. Well, it's because we are transitioning. I am leaving the Facebook Live show. I know it's really sad. I welled up earlier when I was just talking about it. I've so enjoyed being here with you every week, but I'm taking over both lanes of programming for Support After Abortion, not only the client services lane, but the expansion as well. So it's just natural for me to give something up. As I said earlier, I hated it when I started. Now I love it. So this is bittersweet. I just want to thank you for being here every Tuesday with me. And so that said, Lisa and Carolyn, see, it takes two people to fill this one seat that I filled all this time, right? So Lisa and Carolyn are going to be filling this role for you. You don't want to miss what they're going to bring to you. And so Lisa, I'm going to turn it over to you to tell us how is not only me leaving the show, but how we're transitioning what the show is going to look like moving forward.
Absolutely. But before I do, I want to publicly honor you, Karen. You have been an asset from the beginning. And for our viewers, you know, we wouldn't be Support After Abortion without God's grace and determination inside of you, because when you were hired in 2017, the things that you have experienced is unlike anything else. And so when we say unprecedented, like, you are part of that unprecedented experience. Yes.
Thank you.
And so
don't make me cry on TV or on Facebook. Don't make me cry on Facebook.
Yes. And the reality was, Karen, you were chosen for this role 30 weeks ago because everybody knew you from our industry. Everybody just valued you and appreciated your perspective and your non-threatening approach and just the excitement that you bring. And so I just want you to know that you will be missed. And I'm so grateful that you're choosing to rise up and accept this new challenge, because in your new role, not only are you going to be elevating our clients' experience, but you're going to be elevating our partnerships. And, yes. You know, we were when you were welling up, we were also just sharing the excitement of how Support After Abortion is truly empowering the abortion healing movement. And you're going to be a huge part of that. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's time to move on. I'm now comfortable with doing it. So it's time to get uncomfortable doing something else again, right? That's how we stretch and grow. Yeah.
And for the same reason you were right for this position is why you're right for the next one. You already sit on the Abortion Recovery Coalition. You already have so many of these relationships, and you just see things differently than other people see it. And I think that's your engineering mind. But I really think that there's going to be a lot to come for our partners and our ministry moving forward. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. So Carolyn, welcome. How do you know, we've been together for quite some time now, the way that you came to Support After Abortion when you were working at a pregnancy center. How do you feel about sitting in this seat?
It's a big shoes to fill. I mean, I have honestly, the absolute privilege of working with Karen on a regular basis. So not just in this live setting, but also just on my day-to-day. And she is just she's my mentor. She's my best friend. She's my family. And so I get to work with one of my favorite people, and just being able to learn and grow and stretch in a way that Karen knows I don't like to do. Like she said, when things feel hard and we don't want to do them, that's when we definitely need to step into them. And it's not that I don't want to do this, but this is definitely something I've never ventured into before. So I'm excited, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah. Thank you, Carolyn. All right. So enough about me. This is not about me. This is about the people that are watching. So we just want to honor your time, and we want to give you, just the benefit of our wisdom and what we know. And so that's what this network thing is all about, right? It's just collaborating, linking arms with other ministries and agencies that offer after abortion healing, because it's our vision to see the world restored from the impacts of abortion. That's it. So Lisa, we have 3 words that we talk about together: compassion, collaboration, and capacity. Could you talk to those that are watching today and explain to them what those things mean and how we're going to lay out our Facebook Live weekly sessions to accommodate that?
Absolutely.
Or to promote that is a better word.
And that's a great segue. So something for our viewers that they already likely know about us, but Support After Abortion is a unique element in an industry. It's been a missing piece in our industry. It's been the vehicle that's been missing to bring everyone together. And so we have this unique opportunity with all of the talents and treasures that we have within Support After Abortion, from our board all the way to our volunteers. We can pivot very quickly. We learn, we like to develop a proof of concept, really better understand the abortion healing movement, look to see where the gaps are, because we know there's so many people in our world that have not received healing and don't know where to go. And so what we've been able to learn over the last, I think it's been 8 months since we became our own 501c3, maybe 7. The end of December will be 8. But what we've been able to learn is that we have these 3 words that we really feel like our ministry is being called to. And that's what Karen just said, the compassion, which is what we've done for the last 30 weeks. We've been developing compassion to say the word abortion without getting that well up in your throat, to be able to understand from a pro-life perspective that abortion healing is actually part of the pro-life movement. If we don't heal the 50 years of wounded America from legalized abortion, we are not going to be able to shift this paradigm. We are not going to be able to end end the demand for abortion, because we know 50% of the men and women that are seeking abortion right now have already had an abortion. And we also know that they're encouraging their friends and their families, because that's what we do when we're living in brokenness. We spur our brokenness onto others. And so that's what we've done. We've tried to highlight people's stories, their ministries, really helping to bring a level of understanding to the pro-life movement and the abortion healing movement of what is happening, how people got into the decision to make an abortion or to have an abortion, and so on, bringing men into the conversation and family members and all sorts of things. And so we feel like we've done a really good job, and we've really gotten to see where other people are doing that well. And then we look at this as the next step is this collaboration piece. And what we've learned, and we've been so amazed by this and honored and humbled really, is that there isn't a vehicle to bring all of the abortion healing leaders. There's over 200 programs offering healing. And for the first time, this is really the first time that they're all coming together saying, I've been praying about this. I felt all alone. I'm in Idaho, I'm in Iowa, I'm in California, New York, and Miami. And I felt like I was doing this all by myself. I didn't know that there was this program here and this situation here. And so, when we had our speakers meeting at the last conference that we had, it was revolutionary to hear somebody talking about Linda Cochran and just big people in the industry that had never even met face to face. And so how important it is with anything, right, that we collaborate. My son plays soccer right now. If you don't talk to the kid that's up by the goal and let him know you're kicking the ball, you're never going to score. And so what we've learned, to keep that analogy going, is that a lot of these folks have just been trying to kick the ball from one end of the field to the other and just pray that they score their goal. But what can we do as a team, right? We can come together and be so much stronger. But we know there's gaps. And so we're going to move from our Facebook Live sharing stories and bringing compassion to the industry and really focus on how can we build stronger abortion healing advocates and leaders, which will ultimately transition into capacity. Because we know if the millions of men and women come out of the woodworks telling us that they're ready to relieve themselves of the silent suffering that they've been experiencing, that there would be millions, and too many, because our industry does not have the capacity to serve. So we really believe that by building compassion, we're going to grow a collaborative network that'll ultimately, naturally, just like that soccer team, grow the capacity to score bigger goals, which really for us is to be able to serve more people, right, to get into those neighborhoods and those families that are unreachable right now by our industry, and really grow the capacity to serve the millions of men and women that need healing after abortion.
Yeah, that's so great. You described that so well, Lisa. But Carolyn, you're sitting here for a reason, right? Mm-hmm. And so collaboration, we're now going to kind of shift our focus to the collaboration piece, but we all know every presentation that I've ever done, when I give my testimony, that's the thing that people love the most about the presentation. It's not what I'm trying to train them on or teach them on. So that's why you're here, Carolyn. So why don't you share with us why it's so important for you to make sure that we highlight people's testimonies and how abortion really does hurt people, and yet there's hope available.
Yeah, and just from my own story and from my own healing journey, I didn't really understand how it was going to look until I sat in a room with other women in my first healing group with you, Karen, and heard other people's stories and other people's testimonies, and heard the work that they've put in and the pain that they've been through and the freedom that came at the end of that. That was what catapulted me into really wanting to find out what exactly I had really buried, because you tend over time to forget. And so having that safe place to hear other people's stories and know that there is hope for you, and there's hope as much for me as for you sitting across the screen, and hearing other people's stories and their testimonies, I feel is pivotal for that. And so it's super important to hear those pieces and still talk about them so that people know they are truly not alone.
Yeah. So you said a couple of things in that, Carolyn, that I want to come back to. Mm-hmm. One is that, there's something that happens during that healing process when you're using a resource. There's something that happens where it's just like, I don't even know how to describe it. Can you put it into words? Where the head and the heart are connected, where that transformation just happens in a moment. Can you explain that for those that are watching?
The way it always comes to my mind and what I experienced was, it was when you're it just felt like I was taking that first step up a ladder out of that hole, that deep, dark hole that I had just been sitting in and surrounding my blinders on and just seeing darkness, and finally being able to see that hand reach down and say, take that first step. And so for me, that's what I always picture in my mind, is that first step up.
That's so good, because healing is ongoing, right? And there was something that you just shared with me recently, if you're willing to share it with those that are watching, that there's something that you had completely forgotten and it kind of comforted you. And so I don't want to ruin the story. Can you just share with those that are watching, in your ongoing healing journey, what has been revealed to you?
Yeah. So I have been, since I went to my very first healing group, it's been about 3.5 years in that process. And so just like you said, a couple weeks ago, I was having I was just sitting there, and there was no monumental moment or anything. It was just sitting in the quiet of on my porch one evening when my children were sleeping. And I've always had this idea that I did go to a center, right? Or something. I talked to somebody, but I never really could connect it. So I kind of just never really delved into that. I don't think I could. I don't think it was time for that to be revealed. God knows when he can reveal certain things to us on our healing journey and when we're prepared for that. And so in that moment, I just remembered I did go to a pregnancy center. And I did, after I left Planned Parenthood with my confirmed pregnancy, and even knowing that I was going to have an abortion, I really wanted someone to say something. I was searching for somebody to help me. I was searching for somebody to be able to just tell me I didn't have to do this, because unfortunately those around me, that wasn't happening. And so I had only one idea in mind, because that's all that was presented. And so I did go, and I just remember what came to me when I was sitting there was Roosevelt Road. And that was the road that not only was Planned Parenthood on, but also the pregnancy center was on Roosevelt Road in the city that I lived in, literally right up the street from the other one. And so I just remembered Roosevelt Road, and I remembered this cross. And at this time, I didn't have a relationship with the Lord. I didn't grow up in a Christian home. And so it's like burned into my mind. And that was one of the things I always remembered. It was this neon pink cross that said, Jesus saves. And I remember looking at that cross and thinking, that's kind of gaudy, I didn't understand. I was like, oh, pink cross, that's kind of interesting. But that's the thing, is it stuck in my mind. And then literally 2 blocks away from that church was this pregnancy center. And so I remember going to the pregnancy center. Still, things aren't perfect. I have little bits here and there. And it was in an old home, like a house that they had converted into a center. And I just remember meeting with an older woman. And I remember my thoughts as I was sitting across the table from her was like, what's she got in common with me? I don't want to tell my mom. And I almost felt like I was sitting across the table from my mom. So there was this disconnect in wanting to share. And I'm not saying that's for everybody, but this is just my memory. And I just remembered all I heard about was just adoption. I remember leaving thinking, she doesn't care about me. She doesn't care about my feelings or what I'm going through. All she cares about is that I put my baby up for adoption. And I remember thinking, yeah, I've thought of that, but there's still so much that goes into that too. And I just couldn't get to that place. Yeah. And so I just remember leaving very defeated and unheard, and not still feeling like I had no one in my corner. And that's really what it was just this lonely experience. And I just never knew.
And there's a couple of things I want to say about that. So this is if you work in the industry, if you're part of a pregnancy center, this might be hard for you to hear, that this woman went to a pregnancy center and her needs were not met. So this is just an opportunity for us to raise our standard of excellence and use this testimony from Carolyn to make sure that you're meeting people where they are, that you're addressing the person that's sitting in front of you, not the child in their womb. That's the first thing I want to say, because we're not saying that your pregnancy center is like that. I just want to do that disclaimer. But really what the thing was for you, Carolyn, was that you had always said to me, I wonder what I would have done if I had gone and asked somebody for help. And so when you found out that you actually had, that was not a comfortable moment for you, right? No. But that's how God continues to develop us, right? Mm-hmm. Even though you didn't remember that you had gone to a center, it still impacts you. So that's the point that I wanted to make. So thank you for that. So now you have a taste of what it's going to look like moving forward. We're going to have collaboration with Lisa most of the weeks out of the month, right, Lisa? Three or 4 weeks out of the month. And Carolyn's going to come in and bring that compassion and to remind you of why we're sitting in these chairs, because we want to connect people to hope and healing. Now, I think we've given the transition enough attention. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that today is Giving Tuesday, and support after abortion is very much involved in that. Lisa, do you want to say a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So Giving Tuesday has a couple different dynamics. Maybe people have been watching and it's all about money for them. But for us, Giving Tuesday is about sharing the message of hope and healing and making abortion healing more of a living room conversation. And so what we've asked people to do is post on selfies, provide hashtags, and then of course, if they are spurred on to heal, to give for further healing for others, that we would love for that to happen. So it's been a really great experience to see the engagement. You know, it's kind of a day that we have permission to push our ministry and all the work that we've done in your face, and it's kind of accepted. So we actually posted our top 5 videos. It started last night, and it's going to run after this. One more video from Chris McCluskey, which, by the way, you do not want to miss. If you have an hour to give, I think it's 6 o'clock. It is going to be, he and I did a role play together in our virtual conference, and it's only, you can only have it right now if you have the premium pass. So I'd strongly encourage you. It goes right along with what Carolyn was just talking about how to engage your clients and how to take their lead. He's a mental health therapist, but he's also a Christian coach. And so him and I really talked about the difference between going in with an agenda as a pregnancy center advocate versus going in with the client's agenda and meeting the client where they're at. And man, you see a distinct difference. So yeah, it's been a joy, Carolyn or Karen. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I am going to do something right now. We have a text opportunity. Let me back up. I've never done this in a group that I facilitated before, but it was a group that I did not quite a while ago. And these ladies in the 9-week process were night and day. I mean, they looked completely different by the time it was over. It was incredible. The most profound change that I've ever seen in a group. And I've done a lot of them. And I don't know why I asked this, but I just said, you ladies, I mean, the transformation in you is incredible. You guys know it, right? And they're like, yeah. I said to them, would you give $100 to see another girl who's been impacted by abortion find the freedom that you just experienced? And now these were not ladies of means. They were like, one of them was paycheck to paycheck. And she said, without a doubt, I'd give you $100. So I am a person that's been impacted by abortion. Thank the Lord Jesus Christ. I've been set free from that. There's no condemnation. There's no judgment. There's no shame. There's no regret. I am going to text $100 to support after abortion right now. That number is 243-725. It's in my phone. 243-725. And then in the message, you say SAA Giving Tuesday. And I'm sending it right now. I guess, okay. Oh, it didn't understand it, Lisa. What did I do wrong? It's SAA Giving Chance. Help me.
So the number is in the to box, and then you text SAA Giving Tuesday.
Is it case sensitive?
Might be. Capital SAA, capital G, finish giving in lowercase, and then capital T and finish it in lowercase.
Okay. Sorry, we don't understand. This is an epic fail. Okay, I tell you, I am going to, how can this not be working right now, people? I mean, honestly.
I wonder if you took the number down wrong. But regardless, everybody can go to our website at supportafterabortion.com/give. And we have a very easy to follow giving page, and any amount is a blessing to us. The $100 is a great opportunity. You can give a one-time gift. You can give monthly gifts. This is really our first donor campaign that we've ever participated in. Up until this point,
Right.
We haven't asked for funds to do the things that we're doing.
Yes. So I am asking you to come along this journey with me. You know, if you have had an abortion and if somebody came alongside you and took you through that healing process, if you're able, partner with me and give $100 to the agency that you want to support. It doesn't have to be support after abortion, just somebody that provides abortion healing to men and women around the world. Join me if you have the means to do it. Give your best gift. I'm going to give $100. And then what I'd like you to do is in the comments of Support After Abortion's Facebook page, there's a link there and it says, it's got the words healed for healing. Once you give, I want you to post in Support After Abortion's Facebook page, that image, healed for healing, so we can celebrate your gift together, right? We just want you to get involved and give to support someone else because someone supported you. That's all I'm going to say about it.
And the link works, just so you know.
Oh my gosh.
Santi's going to post it. It's also on our Facebook page, but it's 243725. And in the comments section, text SAA Giving Tuesday. So if you want to text to give, it'll bring you to our landing page on our website, or go ahead to our website, supportafterabortion.com/give.
And again,
Technology.
share this video. Share on Facebook.
Oh, yes, share this video. We do have a little bit of time left. If anybody has any questions for Lisa or Carolyn, I just want to remind you that Viable is going to be shown on December 5th, that's Saturday, from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. You don't want to miss it. I'll tell you what, I watched that play from beginning to end, and there was a moment that was very emotional for me, you know, and I've done so many healing groups, I don't get that emotional anymore, but it was riveting to watch. It's different than a movie because it's actually actors that are performing right in front of you. And it's so good. You don't want to miss it. Just know that it could bring up emotions for you. So know that Support After Abortion is available for you. And then you don't want to miss Lisa interviewing the cast at 7 p.m. Host a watch party with your friends. Do it in a group. Do it with your pregnancy center staff and volunteers. Do it with your ministry staff and volunteers. It's free to you. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, ladies, to wrap us up for today. If there's any final things that you want to say to anybody.
Absolutely. I just want to make sure that everybody watching and everybody that will watch knows that we are all about spurring the abortion healing industry forward, drawing out excellence. And so Viable is a different way about bringing the message of hope and healing to people, because we know one way doesn't do it. And we talk about that all the time, right, Karen? Options-based is the way to go. And that doesn't just mean on the healing curriculum, but it means about how we talk about abortion, how we creatively express our feelings regarding abortion. And so just like Unplanned, for those of you who watched it, was for the theater or the film industry, or it's on Netflix now and all sorts of things, just how that has spurred people on for healing and better understanding. I mean, I can't tell you how many times people have watched Unplanned and said, I didn't realize this, or there's actually a really viral Instagram post from an African-American guy, young guy, who actually videos Unplanned in a certain piece and then goes off about what he watched. And he's trying to spur on his community to better understand abortion, which is huge. So the way that people can then use that to communicate about abortion, we just want it to stop being a political issue, stop being a religious issue. We want to make it a man's issue, a woman's issue, a family issue, a community issue. And so that's what Viable's for. So you have 5 days to come together in your home, on your sofa, your women's group, your abortion healing group. I have an Unraveled Roots group that I'm going to share. Host a watch party. You don't have to be together, but invite somebody. We always say at church that, sometimes all it is just inviting somebody to church, and that saves their life, and so invite somebody to this. You don't have to be the conduit for explaining abortion healing. You just have to be there as a facilitator to then answer questions afterwards. So that's what we're trying to do, is really create an opportunity for people to continue a conversation about abortion healing. And then I also just wanted to say, with Christmas around the corner and all of the pivot onto the online platform, Karen, you did so many of our conferences at the very beginning. We have an online store. We had all of this product that we weren't taking to conferences anymore that is amazing. And you were actually the model of it for a lot of it, Carolyn, but we have an e-store now. As you're shopping, I don't know, I have people in my life that they have everything they need, and there's something special about giving a gift that has purpose behind it, or that's supporting somebody else's really great work. I would just encourage folks, if you're in a situation like that, or maybe you want to give a gift from our store, is to visit our store, same website, supportafterabortion.com, but instead of /give, /shop, and you have plenty of time before Christmas to get those gifts mailed to you or mailed to whomever you want to give them to. But you guys know more than I do, but t-shirts, our book, our curriculum, we have our newest one, keys to hope and healing, jewelry, just a lot of wonderful stuff that then in turn supports our work. So
yes, so that's really great. So I figured out what I did wrong. There can be no spaces between SAA Giving Tuesday. I had spaces, so my error. Our system is perfect. I'm not. But I just want to read a comment to you before we end. I got a comment from a lady. She said, I just got a pass, or I don't know if it was a woman or not. I just got a past due parking ticket for $200 today, and I am not in the best financial situation either, and also live paycheck to paycheck. But this is a worthy cause. Any amount will be used for a beautiful healing, and so give whatever you can. I will commit to sending $20 as soon as I get off this live, and we'll be sharing as well.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's what it's all about.
It is.
Thank you for your gift.
Amen. Thank you very much.
That will help one person go through a healing program with us. So thank you for that. I'm just going to close this out with, it's been a privilege to sit here, and I love you all that have been watching. You're so faithful, and your heart is so huge to help people that are hurting. And it's unnecessary. They don't have to sit at home in silence, hurting so bad, struggling on their shame and regret. So if you're able, give today. It's Giving Tuesday, and we would love to be able to offer healing and hope to everyone that wants it. So compassion, collaboration, capacity.
Yeah.
Amen. And if I could just close this off with just a word of encouragement, we are projected to serve almost 2,000 clients. That's double from last year through our Hope Line, virtual groups, you name it. You two have been phenomenal, and the amount of volunteers that have stood behind our work has been amazing. And we've touched 8,000 leaders through our 2 virtual conferences in the middle of COVID. And if we think about those 10,000 people combined, if they touch 10 people, and that's a small number for a lot of people. If they touch 10 people, do you know that this year alone, with our pandemic and with everything that's happened and with a brand new ministry, that we will have the capacity of touched 100,000 lives? That, to me, that's how you start breaking into these millions of people that have been impacted. And our goal for next year is 250,000 people. And we believe that's tangible because look what we were able to do in 8 months. And so, or 6 months, whatever it is, it's just a small amount of time because everybody's hungry, and this is an answer to a need that we really have in our industry. So for the woman that gave 20, for Carolyn and Karen, you both have been blessed by Support After Abortion. There is just, you can't put a dollar amount on the amount of work and blessings that we get to be a part of.
Yeah. Yes, that's so true. Lisa, there's a comment for you. It says, Lisa, you are just glowing, and I know it's because you were doing what brings you joy and is your passion. Yeah. So just be affirmed. All right, y'all. I don't know who the guest is going to be next week because that's now Lisa's job and Carolyn's job.
Is it? I'm not on next week, am I? No, I'm just.
So I'm going to leave it in their capable hands. And again, I just thank you for being so faithful, watchers of our Facebook Live on Tuesdays at 4. We may be changing the day and the time. I think there's been some discussion about that. So just stay tuned. We'll make sure that you know where we are and when we're going to be there. And Lisa and Carolyn will take over. Until then, I'll see you somewhere. I'm always around, so I'll see you somewhere. I love you guys. Until next time, have a great day.